Today I would like to talk a few minutes about options for preheating passenger compartments in cars and bigger vehicles. Eberspaecher hydronic heaters became very popular, and many customers use them not only for engine preheat but also for preheating of passenger compartments. Hydronic heaters have a great feature, blower relay output, which allows switching on blower on the vehicle only after preheating coolant to the level when blower can produce some heat for the passenger compartment, which saves energy on the battery. This way of controlling heater has a disadvantage, because resistors used with that switch for controlling RPM on the vehicle consume a lot of electrical energy, and blower motor running on medium or low RPM actually shares the power with those resistors, and they consume about the same amount of energy what is consumed by the blower motor. So there is a way for improvement. We have an option of controlling the blower using blower control module offered by Eberspaecher. The blower control module powers the blower motor with pulse width modulated signal, which significantly reduce amount of energy consumed from the battery. These methods work fine with conventional two-wire blower motors, like this. This is our toy vehicle, and this is our toy blower motor. So we see that it has two wires, plus and minus, and our blower control module, or we name it also BCM, perfectly fine works with such motors. But what can we do if a motor, another toy motor, what if it has more than two wires, not only plus and minus, but also control wire or control wires? In this case, we had another option, IPCU relay, which controls the blower motor using voltage divider signal or PWM signal sent to the control wire of the motor. This IPCU relays didn't become very popular in North America because installation of such relay requires making some measurements. Installer has to determine what is frequency on the vehicle, what is duty cycle of the signal, if it is low or high side control. So that was not an easy setup, and also the IPCU relay required using computer software for programming the relay. This prevented most of the customers widely use IPCU relays. Now Eberspaecher is proud to introduce a new Smart IPCU. This is a small device, relay type, with only 4 terminals, so it is connected to the heating system and to the vehicle with only 4 wires. 2 wires go to the heater and 2 wires to the control circuit of the blower motor. And what is good in this IPCU is that it is smart and it is self-learning. So installer only need to connect these 4 wires, switch on the blower on the vehicle dashboard at necessary RPM, and then push button on this IPCU, and it learns what kind of signal is used for controlling the blower, and next time when you run the heater, it produces exactly the same signal, so the blower runs on the correct RPM. And we even don't need to know what kind of signal. It can work with analog voltage divider signals, it can work with PWM active high and PWM active low signals, and it even can work with lean bus signals, which are digital control of the blower motor. So all this is covered with only this single piece, and there is no need to use any measurements, no need to program it using computer software. It's only installation of 4 wires, pressing button to educate it, And that's it, it's ready to go. Now let's look how to connect this little self-learning IPCU to the vehicle circuits. So Smart IPCU comes with this pre-wired socket. The cable has 5 wires and we see IPCU has 4 wires. So the one red, white in the middle wire is not used. We will ignore this one. And for others we need to connect them to our heater and to the vehicle. So we insert IPCU into the socket. 2 wires which go to the heater are very familiar on color, and they are black, red and brown, which is ground and blower relay output of the heater. I installed these connectors for our convenience for now. So connection to the heater is made. That was easy. Most difficult part is probably finding the blower control wire on our toy vehicle. So we need to find the blower cable, which will likely consist of 3 wires. 2 wires for power and ground and control wire, located somewhere most likely behind the glove box. And what we do now, left side goes to our control panel. For simulating HVAC control, I put this battery, so we can look. The battery will simulate voltage divider type of control. Let's look what is voltage on it. We connect our voltmeter between ground and the control wire of the blower, and we see it is 4.16 volts. Now we disconnect the wire from climate control to the blower motor, the control wire, and our 2 wires from IPCU relay. One of them is output of IPCU relay, black, white, so we connect it to the blower side, and the other wire, black, is input, black, we connect to the side of the climate control on the vehicle. This now connected, and the next step, what we need to do, we see green LED is on the IPCU. We push the button for IPCU to learn what kind of control is used in this vehicle. Okay, it stopped flashing, which means it is learned. And what we can do now, we can disconnect our battery, switch off the blower on the vehicle. IPCU takes control. You see it starts flashing slowly, which means it takes control because it is powered from the heater. And let's see what is voltage. .28, which is very close to what we had from the climate control. So this is it. First we adjusted the climate control for suitable RPM, pushed the button on IPCU, it learned that signal, and now when we switched off blower on the climate control panel, the IPCU provides similar signal to the blower motor, so it will run on similar RPM. What if we made a mistake and we need to reprogram this IPCU again? We push the button, hold it for about 8 or 10 seconds. Green light becomes solid, so it became brand new again. It forgot the previous experience, and we may train the ECU again. If necessary, we can readjust the RPM on the blower and let the IPCU relearn the new voltage, and again same thing happens. It learned the voltage, rounded to the closest internal step, and that's it. Our vehicle and our heater are ready to go. Similarly, we could program our IPCU to work with the PWM signal or even with LIN bus signal. The new IPCU can handle that one as well.